We're not live. Oh, there we go. We're live.
We're live.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Q&A that we do every Monday night. Hold on, I got an echo here. Sorry about that. I had an echo from the play screen. So thank you for joining us for another Q&A, episode 34.
Holy moly.
Weeks. Yeah, for real. And this time around, we have Hudson from Dent Gents. Want to introduce yourself, Hudson?
Hey, I'm Hudson. Woodlands, Texas.
So where is that? Where is that in compared to like Houston and stuff?
We're about 30, 45 minutes north of Houston, depending upon how fast you drive. So,
all right, Ryan, you want to introduce yourself?
Ryan from RPS Dent Repair out of Baltimore, Maryland. What's going on, guys?
Perfect. All right, so we start the show with a little bit of tools. Go over some of the tools that we probably worked with over the past few days. Ryan, you want to start or you want me to start?
Sure, I'll start today. So I was working on a Subaru Hail car today. Driver's front door by the mirror. They've got that little hole right where the belt molding sits. This was the only tool that would get me in there. And I've never used it. I've had it in a kit and I've never used it, but this was the absolute only tool that I could get in there just enough to get what I needed. So it's a Dent Craft Tools. It's one of their hand tools, super small. You'll probably use it once in your lifetime.
I lost mine before I got a chance to use it.
But it did the job. So this is moving into this new tool is moving into one of the best tools of the year. I have a couple tools that I keep saying are it. But the Get a Grip XL arm. This thing is freaking awesome. I was using the James Lee Limited thing for the heat gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked really well. This is a little more precise. The build construction of this is awesome. I mean, Matt did a great job. It's got a big 3 or 4 inch suction cup on the bottom. It's super adjustable. I mean, it moves in every direction you can ask it to move. But this thing is freaking awesome. I used it today.
And what do you normally mount on that?
You know what I used this for today, and I was just trying it. My glue gun.
Ah, okay.
So it just kind of kept it off the car. I couldn't put a mat. They painted the roof. I was doing a rail, and this thing worked awesome. I was like, let me just try this thing. And I just suctioned it to the quarter window, brought it up, and just hung the glue gun off of here. And it worked awesome, man. This thing, it's got multiple uses. What's that?
What's that setting you back?
I think it's $200.
Yeah.
They're not cheap, but just from the physical build quality of this thing, I mean, it's aluminum rods. Everything's really well. It's got the ram. It seems like this is the claw that a lot of the guys are using, the ram claw.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really nice tool. I'm very, very happy with it. Matt did a really good job. So if you guys are looking into these things, it's getagripnow.com. And he's just a dent guy, another dent guy that came out with a great tool. They're not cheap. I remember Chris and I were talking to him at MTE 2 years ago.
And,
I remember him.
And so he makes 3 versions, actually, guys. He makes the XL, which is the one that Ryan, I think you're holding.
Yeah.
It's $197.
Okay.
And he makes it's a strong arm, so it's just one more less arm, it seems like. And that's $147. So looks like he needs to try to build a tray so you can put different things on. Now that you use
a tray would work really well on this.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That would probably be hot.
The universal part of this whole tool, it looks like he originally made this for like a heat gun, like he has a picture of it online with a torch. Just how many angles you can put it.
I've been told I've been contemplating getting this one because I have the James Lee and I'm happy with it because usually I have access to electricity.
Yeah.
But with this one, if you're going with a propane torch,
Yes.
I've been told that this one's strong enough to hold the weight of the propane tank and torch on the end.
You know, the thing I like about this is it's a little longer. I have the James Lee 2. I can't always get where with that arm it seems like it's too short.
Yeah.
You know, it's limited. It's limited to what where you're gonna put it. But this thing's freaking awesome. I didn't use it for what it was supposed to be used, but you know, making another use for another tool. So this definitely goes in my book for this year. Great job, Matt.
Well, now my wife's gonna be upset with you.
I can spend another 200.
Yeah, another.
I was shocked. I thought it would be like a plastic arm. It's, you know, it's aluminum. I mean, I was like, man, I opened up the box. I was like, man, this thing for $200, you know, this is well built. So check it out.
I've had his umbrella. I forget what they call it. I think he calls it the Get a Grip only. I think it's just the grip, and it's a little umbrella holder that I use. I've had it for 2 years now. So, and also sells that propane one that you were talking about.
Is it a
Hudson?
Oh yeah.
Is it a big umbrella?
Actually, I liked his because you can put any umbrella. So I figure if one just gets twisted in the wind, I could just run to Walmart real quick and grab an umbrella, and I'm back in action. So, I really like that feature. I think the competitor, you had to get his umbrella, and it's kind of made it with the suction cup. And we all know that you got to keep changing the boot of the suction cup and some of the pieces in it, because they do go bad. And just the umbrella, I've had umbrellas twist on me on a windy day, so I didn't want to dedicate myself to one brand. I wanted something that I can switch out umbrellas, either bigger or smaller umbrella. So that's what I've been rocking. So cool. Anything else?
That's it. That's all I got today. Like I said,
That's it.
I'm kind of waiting until MTE, so I'm getting tough with the tools.
What? Hudson, did you bring anything? I know you probably didn't know about that.
No, I didn't know. So I'm gonna put that on you. But I did get the new James Lee, version 3 light.
Okay.
So have you guys got your hands on that yet?
Yes. It's freaking awesome.
It's good. It's a little bit of a learning curve. Finally getting it tuned in, dialed in to my movements the way I want it to work. One thing I'm going to probably do, have y'all heard of this stuff called Sugru? Sugru? So basically it's like a soft moldable rubber plastic, and you can buy it. Comes in little packs, almost looks like gum packs. You buy it when you take it out, and you can just mold it to whatever you want and then stick it onto whatever you want, and it'll then harden into hard plastic.
Okay.
Nice.
So what I'm thinking about doing is that new version 3 light, it has the on-off switch for the light and then the on-off switch for the USB. But you just don't know the difference between the two, especially because you're just going and you're just like toggling it to turn on or off your light. So I'm going to take that Sugru and I'm going to make a little bead, and I'm going to put the bead on one of them, so I know, and just by feel alone, boom. And then on all I have the yellow light, white light, yellow, white, all 6 lights. So on all my yellow lights, I'm going to be applying those little beads of Sugru on all the yellow lights, so I can just go by feel instead of having to freaking toggle through all the different.
It's crazy how those little things can speed you up.
Yeah.
That you'll spend that much time just going there putting little kind of braille stuff.
Yeah, pretty
much.
It is, little braille.
It's a great idea, though.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you got? I think
super glue, like a glob of super glue might work too, but it may.
You know what? Kids, puffy paint.
Puffy paint, like P. Diddy.
Yeah, yeah.
I know nothing about that.
You can buy it in a little tube and make a little dot, and it would raise. So that's
you could.
Look at that.
Yeah, but if I use Sugru, I can sound cool.
You're right. Better than puffy paint. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, so I have some quick. I have this leverage block that I bought from Dentcraft,
Hey yo.
and so just I'm gonna modify this one, and I'm gonna drill a hole straight through it, and then that way I can mount it to any 2x4s or any open panels. I'm actually gonna probably put 3 holes.
That's
And
a
I can
third
just-
brake light one, correct?
Yeah, so that's the third brake light. Yep.
That little notch right there on the bottom and on the back of the
Yeah,
tail light.
has a little notch right there.
Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty stout. I haven't used it.
They're
But
awesome.
I'm thinking,
They're awesome.
I'm thinking when you need it, I think they're $18.
Yeah,
So you get them from Dentcraft. They're called leverage blocks.
Freaking
You got a
awesome.
small one and a large one. This is the what they call the third brake light block.
I
love
put
the
Testa
little
tape on mine.
So did I.
Hmm. Yeah,
So did
so
I.
does it slip or on the
Yeah,
back side?
it gets a little slippery with that plastic.
Okay. And then my my last one, it's actually a little video. So I don't know if you guys have the Apple product or a new phone, but the new measuring app I've been using like crazy, and I can't demonstrate it right here, but I will definitely shoot you guys. Let me see here. Boop, boop. Screen share this bad boy. So I'm going to show you how this works. If anybody's interested, this is the new measuring app from Apple, and this thing is crazy. I've been doing all my estimates with this app. So I send the video or the picture to the customer. A lot of times they just drop off the car to me, and I send them that, and they pretty much there's the measurement right there. It's kind of hard to try to hold some type of tape measure and take a picture at the same time. So
here's my question: if they send you a photo, can you take their photo and do it?
I don't think so, because it's using some of I guess the gyro and the GPS. I don't know, but it's
Gyro? One of them with like the falafels.
So when you start the app, it wants you to move it around. So I guess it's trying to see, I guess it's composition compared to whatever you're trying to measure, and then you have to have 2 ends. So
yeah, usually when you measure something, you do have 2 ends.
Well,
except for my love for you, Chris, that has no end.
Well, 2 distinct ends, because what you have to do is you have to mark it. So on a white car, just use a like a marker.
Mm-hmm.
What they call it? I use a
Posca.
I forget what they call it. Like a
Posca marker.
like a auto marker.
Yeah.
And then whatever is bright, and then boom, just that's your 2 lines right there. So
nice.
That is it. So it is a free app, guys. So just check it out. I got
another thing. You're done. That's all you brought, right, Chris?
That's it. Mm-hmm.
So I want to bring up on the PDR Tool Time Facebook page. I don't know. We were talking about it last week. There's been quite a bit of talk about it the last week or so. Chris was actually on a podcast last week about Greg Van Winkle's son, Devin, that was really bad injured, and the PDR Tool Time guys put a large, kind of like a raffle. You donate every $50, you get a ticket. Yeah. There's a ton of tool manufacturers involved. So get on that. I think it ends tomorrow.
Yeah, October 2nd, I think, is his last day.
So great dude. Like I said before, I mean, you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. It's a shame that it happened. So if you guys can donate, get in there and donate. I know one of our listeners, Rick from one of my areas, I see he donated. I think he donated $300. So Rick's a big tool guy, and he's really good for the industry. He's super passionate about paintless dent repair. So good job, Rick. But if you guys can donate and help Greg out, awesome dude.
Yeah, definitely. That's unfortunate. All right, so
off to the good stuff.
What up?
The basic question, the question that everybody asks you is, how'd you get into this industry?
Ooh, man, 12 years now. Yeah, 12 years. There was I was the parking lot manager at a local grocery store here, and there was a guy at I was still in high school, and I was a senior, and I was living on my own my senior year of high school, just for a lot of different reasons. And so I was working full time and going to high school. And there was a guy who basically volunteered at the church youth group that I was a part of. And he kind of had that connection. He saw me out there and he's like, "Hey, how do you like doing this?" And I thought I was balling. You know, I'm like 18. I'm making like $12 an hour, working 40 hours a week. I'm like, "What's up?" So I'm like, "Man, I'm awesome, making great money." And a hailstorm had just fallen like a week ago. And so his name was Wade Hartley. I don't know if you guys, a lot of guys know Wade with he's now with Front Range Dent Removal up there in Colorado.
Nice.
And so he approached me and he was like, "How do you like doing this?" And I'm like, "Oh, whatever." I'm like, I think I had an idea that he worked on cars, and I'd helped my stepfather rebuild a couple of cars. And so tinkering around with that kind of stuff. And so I was like, I just kind of want to do something with my hands, and he was like, "Oh, really? Well," next thing you know, I quit my job 2 weeks later and started dropping headliners for him and learned how to fix dents.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Took about a good year. I didn't get paid during that time. I just luckily somehow, some way I'd saved up enough money because I don't know how, no one taught me to, I just did. And so I just lived off that and then started fixing like windshields on the side while I learned how to fix dents.
So did Wade teach you?
Yeah, Wade trained me.
Train.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so Wade trained me how to do that. That was an interesting experience to say the least. But Wade's one of my best friends. He was in my wedding. So nice. I've known him for a really long time.
He is a character.
Yeah.
He is a character.
Try getting trained by him.
Well, Hudson's a character anyway, so.
True. That would have been good TV.
So fast forward how many years and you start Dent Gents?
Let's see. I think I was about 3 years in, and it was pretty clear that Wade and I, we were so similar. And had different ideas of business that we just kept butting heads. And so Wade fired me. I was a bad employee. He admittedly says he's a bad boss, and we both agree. And I was a bad employee. And so it was awesome. We both say it was one of the best things that ever happened to both of us, because we're just better off separate, but doing our own things and still supporting one another. So about 3 years in. So I've been doing Dent Gents. I'm coming up on like almost a decade now of doing Dent Gents.
That's awesome. Nice. He's got a killer logo. Dent Gents branding over there. Hudson's branding is awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Don't get me started on I got my rants on dent guys and their logos.
Hey, so that was one of my questions.
Yeah.
How did you come up with your logo and the name?
Okay. I think at the time with Dent Gents, it was I think something like I was training a guy at the time, and I think his wife, we were like trying to come up with a name. I think she said, "Well, what about Dent Gents?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's it." And that was it, like done. Like if you're throwing out all these other different names, I'm like, "Oh no, that's it." Like I want Dent Gents. And at the first, I really played it up. I had like bow ties on all my business cards and tuxedos and all that kind of, weird stuff. But I was like, nah. I got away from that and went simple. I was a theater kid. Could have gone to school on scholarship for theater. Decided that wasn't the route I wanted to take.
That explains everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I figured it out. The missing part, I figured it out.
Yeah, so I was a theater kid. Loved it. Still, heck, if I could, I would. But we learned in theater something very called whenever we did one-act plays called KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And that's just kind of something I run. I keep all my logos simple, keep all my vernacular simple. Don't keep things busy, just straight to the point. I want superior dent repair, superior customer service, and we're going to treat your car as any gentleman should.
Nice.
Perfect. Perfect.
So yeah, that's whenever it comes to that, that's just kind of when it came to my logo. Just wanted to keep it simple. My buddy Randy, who's a graphic designer, I was like, hey, this is the name of the company. Let's do it. So we went through some reiterations, and I'm a little bit of a design nerd, a little bit of a geek when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I just went ahead and made it happen.
And so what was your logo before? Was it always that?
No.
Cursive?
I think like the first year or two, I think it was like a copper plate font or something bad, because I just didn't have the funds, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the software. I was just hustling, just trying to get my name out there.
So if I heard you right, DentGents been around, you said 10 years, 9 years?
It'll be 10 years here coming up.
10 years.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of like, I'm coming up on my 10 years too. So where have you seen the industry, I guess, from the 10 years? Where do you see it going, and where have you seen it came from?
Let's see where it came from. Definitely a lot more in the dark whenever I was there. You know, there was DoorDing.com, you know, that we were on, and
yeah,
there. Ricky Bain is right in my backyard, the creator of DoorDing.com.
Wow.
You know, so I talk to him every once in a while, and so it was really like, I think, you know, glue pulling was starting to come out when I first started, and you know, we had those Worth pullers that didn't have had like the plastic, and you put it on a rail and it would make more damage than it fixed. And so there was all that, and that we were learning how to do. And like we didn't have battery powered glue guns. We had the butane powered glue guns.
They were terrible. Yeah.
Oh gosh, they were so bad. And yeah,
the only cordless glue guns we had.
Yeah. And so the technology coming out is crazy. It's getting not easier, but there's more resources available to make your job a little bit more productive and efficient. I guess efficiency is where we're going. I think we're seeing. I love what Dave Stream's doing with a lot of his stuff, just like the ergonomic minded things and things like that. And,
if you had to pick right now out of your whole tool arsenal, your favorite 3 tools.
Oof.
Only 3.
All right. I'm gonna go with my PDR Finesse 3-bend with a sharp point.
Okay.
Because I can pretty much that's my go-to door tool. And then I'm gonna go with my PDR Finesse. It's the smaller diameter, maybe like a quarter inch diameter, and it's got like a 3-bend as well that I can fit. Like whenever you have a dent on near the door handle, you just take out the door handle plug and you just feed that bad boy down there, and boom, 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 done. And then my DentCraft weld tail that I put down doors. I mean, those are my go-tos, because I mean, when you're fixing door dings, those are going to be the 3 that are just going to get to almost everything. So
is that mainly your work? Is it mainly door dings, hail, large damage? What is your?
I'm 60 to 75% retail. Mobile retail. I go to people's houses, then I do body shops, and then I do a few high-end dealerships.
Okay.
So I'm doing anything and everything they ask for me. So I'm doing big stuff, small stuff. They want it fixed, I'm gonna fix it. You know. So so really like this past week I fixed a dent that I didn't think I'd ever be able to fix, and I fixed it this week. It was severely stretched. I had to take the entire door off, like doing that kind of stuff, to showing up to a guy's house and I'm in and out in 15 minutes, fixing a dent, you know. So
that's awesome.
You find that being more productive than a brick and mortar? Sorry.
No, yes and no. I'm a people person. I like fixing dents. I enjoy it, but I love people more. That was great. But I enjoy people, and I love when you're in a customer's garage, the comfort level. Hey man, no matter how much you zoom, it's not gonna get rid of that water stain you just made.
No, it's not.
I love getting in people's garages, and they just open up. They just like, I get to hear like these people's life story like almost every week, and I love it. And
Yeah,
that's just me.
I enjoy that part of like retail too.
Yeah, yeah, man. Just all the people that I get to meet in that. So when it comes to having a shop, I think I would go insane. Not that I'm not capable of doing that. Not that I'm capable of being alone. I mean, I got audiobooks and podcasts that last me, years. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I'm a people. I love people. I love to get around them, and so being in their houses and their garages, and that's what gives me life versus, oh, I just fixed a dent.
That's what's up. So where do you see the industry going?
Man, okay, I'll throw out. I think a few years ago, Shane Jacks, Keith Constantino brought out PDR College, and they brought a level of professionalism to our industry that I think we are finally seeing that. Like, hey, don't show up to work in flip flops and a t-shirt and ripped, freaking cargo shorts, right?
That's a standard now.
Take care, present yourself. I used to have the mentality of, and I think it's still a lot of dent guys do, of like, who cares what I look like? It's about what my work looks like. I can agree to that to an extent, but you're presenting yourself to a customer, and that also, what you look like is going to allow them to prejudge you. Sometimes, unfortunately,
all the time.
You're selling them a product.
Yeah,
you're not just doing a repair, you're selling them an actual product.
There's a reason, like, since I am going to someone's house, when you go to my website, it's a family photo, because you're going to see, hey, this is the person that's going to be coming to your house while, and most of the time it's stay-at-home moms who are home, and the husband goes to work. And so he took, her car to work, and his car stays at home, and I fix it. So he doesn't want to make sure there's some weirdo showing up to his house while his wife's alone with the kids, in our garage.
Yeah.
So that's why I present myself in a professional manner. Because honestly, I don't care to wear a collared shirt. I'd rather just wear, t-shirt and shorts and.
But that level of professionalism, I think that PDR College brought, also helped with showing people that there's a business aspect to this whole thing. It's not pushing dents.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's going. I think we're seeing like, hey, it's not just about fixing dents. It is that's what we do to make income, provide for our families.
Correct.
But it's a business.
Yep.
So let's start. Like, I love Mobile Tech RX coming out and making us more efficient, proficient, and productive, and looking more professional. When I hand that over to an insurance adjuster versus the old Hell Matrix that they had out, and I would just circle.
Oh yeah.
I would just circle the box.
Add it up at the end.
Yeah, and hand it over to them, and they were like, "What is this?"
Dot matrix.
I had carbon copy, so I was like, "You get a copy. You get a copy."
Yeah. I was my Lamborghini dealership actually forced me to go digital. They were like, "Hey, we don't take paper invoices anymore. You have to email it to us." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Well, I guess I'm getting Mobile Tech RX now." So sometimes we got to get a kick in the pants to do that stuff. But yeah, I see a level of professionalism going up. You look at guys like like Ryan Hansen with the 300 Alliance and those guys, and just if you want to work for them, they require you to have like workers' comp, certain insurance, certain that, like bringing that level of professionalism to our industry and our trade. Not a lot of people are going to like that, but I think it's a wise move.
Yeah, because I just got a workers' comp bill, and that is the new requirement for Dentless Touch. If you come and do hell for us, we are requiring workers' comp, or at least some information. Stating that you are not allowed to, you're not required to have it. So
so I think with it's the good, here's the good and the bad of where the industry is going. With the amount of knowledge that is out there, so like shows like this, shows like PDR College, Tool Time, Mike Toledo putting out his thing. What what that does is it makes it seem like it's easy. You know, I can't tell you how many body shops I go into and it's like, hey, what's up? Easy money, you know?
Exactly.
And my favorite thing, man, every time, and it makes me happier is I went to a body shop. They called me Easy Money. So I set up I was doing a hell car and I took a hood that was trash hood and I put seriously 10 dime sized dents in it. And I put $100 bill on it. I go, and I put all the tools necessary to fix the dents. I go, whoever can fix this dent, any of these dents by the end of the day, this $100 bill is yours. And man, it looked gnarly. They did not call me Easy Money anymore. I mean, these things were like dime.
That is amazing.
I'm stealing that right there.
I'm doing that.
Stealing that.
Dude, and then if one of them fixes it, you give them $100 and say, hey, I'm going to take you and train you.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, not a single guy, not a single body man or painter in that shop. Even a few of the service riders came out and tried it, and no one could fix it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it.
And it was wide open, not an embrace or anything, wide open access. So
yeah, I gotta steal that.
That's it right there.
Time. Yeah,
look at that, guys. We're even learning on our own show here, so you can always learn.
So yeah, but yeah, so going forward in our industry, I love all the content that's being put out that people we can learn, have more. You know, I posted a video the other day of a job I did, and I had so many people like message me of like, how did you do it? What was your technique? What was your, because we had these forums that we're posting on and people like, I need to know your technique. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, here you go. This is how I did it.
Yeah.
And we can learn from that.
And it's up to you to take that and then run with it. And, you know, it's like you can, you know, teach anyone PDR, but it's up to them to keep practicing and learning it and getting proficient at it. And you know, it takes work.
Now you guys should follow Hudson here. Follow him on Facebook, Instagram. He does some really, really good R&I videos.
Yeah.
Right now, I think he is the gas door removal king. And I'll go back through because there's sometimes I'm like, I know Hudson did this C-Class or Cayenne gas door. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's right here. So check him out. He does some amazing R&I videos.
Which quarter pounder do you know when you take the gas door out, there's no access?
I think like Camaros, we know, right? Nothing.
Yeah, I know Camaros. Was it?
There's a few, man. Okay, it's funny that you said this because I'm probably gonna make a video here soon because there's one stinking Mercedes. I service in a Mercedes account, so I'm taking those gas doors off like every week. But there's one model, and I forget every time because I'll take it off and then it's just closed, and I'm like,
oh man,
no access. So I'm planning on making a video soon to where like I'm going through my normal thing like, okay, this is how you take it off, and you take it off, and then it's be like, but you shouldn't do that at all because it's completely worthless. Like, there's no access.
And you post these on your Instagram?
No, man. I just post them on the Dent forums. My YouTube game is the furthest from being what are the kids saying, on fleek.
You can pass that now.
Oh, we're past fleek. Okay. I'm 30. I got 15 or so. I'm out of the game.
I haven't even started the game, so you're doing fine.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
So it looks like your son is what, 4 years old, 5 years old?
I got a 4-year-old son, a 2-year-old son, and a 3-month-old daughter.
So with what you know of this industry, would you teach your oldest?
No.
No? Why? Why is that?
I think with the prevalence of carbon fiber, I think carbon fiber and plastic, as plastics get more advanced and people forget about Saturn more and more.
Yeah. Like
the Saturn car company. I think if you look at BMWs, you know, the entire front end's plastic, right? The X5s, the whole front bumper and front fenders are all one piece of plastic, essentially.
Yep.
And that's light. And as we get to more and more in that, I see our industry as, I think we're going to get to our pinnacle here soon. And my fear is that with the prevalence of technology and coming through, I think once my son is old enough to learn, they'll be closer to more all carbon fiber as carbon fiber gets cheaper, the technology to create it gets cheaper. We'll have more cars like that, and then self-driving cars. And
yeah, see, that's where I think self-driving cars, you won't get those parking lot damage.
Well, I mean, see, that's where I'll differ. I'll differ with you on that, because a self-driving car doesn't prevent door dings.
Well, I have a little bit of an inside scoop, and I won't talk about it, but I
call it a theory.
No, it's not a theory.
I know your buddy. You've told me about your buddy.
Yeah. So
Elon Musk and y'all talking on Craigslist.
But he's posting more and more stuff, and he basically took a $22,000 car from the dealership and put a sensor on the front and a sensor on the roof. And basically, with it about $4,000 to $5,000, he turned this into a self-driving car, and it's pretty stout. So I think it's going to be an option, like an add-on. I mean, there's still cars running around there with wind-up windows, and I know this because my dad bought a truck with wind-up windows. I couldn't believe they don't offer power windows as standard. And so I think it's just be an option for a few years, but then after that, it's going to take off. Once it starts saving lives, that's it. Game over. It's going to be standard. My wife's Highlander pretty much stays within the lanes now. You can just take your hands off the steering wheel, and it's not. Yeah. It's standard. I didn't even order that. And
okay, but you still haven't. You haven't explained to me how that's going to stop door dings. Do they have sensors on the doors?
That's a great question, but I will get dropped off at the front, and the car parks itself. I don't need to create that door ding, action. I'm not parked beside another car. I'm getting picked up at the front door, and so that's where the door dings are going to get pretty much wiped out completely.
I think it's still going to be years and years and years.
Yeah. I think
it's just like,
of course,
just like now there's Saturn that's been out of business for 15 years, something like that, and there's still Saturns on the road.
Rest in peace.
So
no, don't rest in peace. Those things are awful.
Oh, sorry, rest in pieces.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a quick question for you, Hudson. So there's issues sometimes, not issues. There's just things that come up where I get a feeling. So how do you feel how do you deal with the, I guess the family dynamic and your business? So when if you don't answer your phone, or you don't answer a text message, or do they know that it's, what I mean? Is it Dent Gents, or are they wondering, why isn't Hudson answering my phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your website, it's a family photo, so they know it's you. Mm-hmm. Do you get blowback or feedback from customers saying, well, I called you, or, or we emailed you, or something like that?
Yeah.
And it gets pawned on you, not so much, I guess, the quote unquote company.
Yeah, absolutely.
You take that.
Yeah, I'm essentially the face of the company.
Right, of course. Yeah. And that's just, how do you deal with that?
So look, I am in the South. I'm in Texas. And so there is a little bit of, I luck out in the sense, I can't speak for the North or the East or the West or whatever, but where I am, it's very much like, when they're asked, hey, do you work on Saturdays? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's family time. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. I will work as early as you need me to, or as late as you need me to, on a Monday through Friday basis. All right. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. So I'll work, if I needed to take a Tuesday and work till 8 p.m. So that, because that's you get off work downtown at 5, you're not home till 6:30.
Right.
I'll do that for you. And my wife luckily is amazing and understands that. She understands, the business. Like just today, like the kids, one needed a diaper change, another one was crying and blah, blah. But then I seriously all at once get 5 text messages from 5 different customers, all wanting to know when I'm going to be there this week. And then another one calls me and I'm like, babe, I got it. And she's like, I get it. Just go. And so luckily, I married an amazing woman that simply just gets it. She understands it. Hey, she knows that I want to help. She knows I want to be there. And my desire is to do that when I'm home. But she also knows this business is what supplies the income for this home that we build, that we create. So having that understanding, that open communication with my wife is really what helps us there. But whenever people call and they don't get an answer, I'm very specific on my voicemail. If you call before 8 a.m. or after 6 p.m., then that's normal operating business hours for us. We'll get back to you the next day, or send a photo to expedite your estimate. And also, I have an if you leave a voicemail, you're going to get an auto response from me that says, hey, just send some photos of the dents to my number here, and then I'll answer it the next day, pretty much.
Nice.
Does that answer your question?
Can you elaborate more on that auto response for any of the viewers that are maybe?
Yeah, so it's called UMail. It's like $10 a month. UMail. Okay, it's not a perfect system, but what it is, if someone leaves a voicemail, they instantly it'll respond with a text message to their number saying, thank you, to expedite your estimate, send photos to 832-766, yada, yada, yada. It's my number. And so then customers will know, like, okay, he's in the middle of a job right now, or he's talking to another customer, but I can get the ball rolling already if I just take a few photos and send them to him. So that way my customer doesn't feel like they were just kind of went into the voicemail black hole. You know, they're instantly responded to if they leave a voicemail. And then I typically, as soon as I'm done with a job or done talking to a customer, I will respond to a customer.
Do you text back or do you call?
No, if they text me, I'll text back. Okay. I like text because it has a record. I usually ask them to text me their address. That way I have it there at all times. The way I have my system set up for creating the way I use it to schedule things is I do everything via text. So what it is I have them send me photos. We'll discuss. I'll give them my ballpark estimate over the phone. Like, okay, this is 3 inches. It's this much. It's on a body line. So add this percentage. I'm going to need to remove this panel piece. So it's this much. So here's your ballpark estimate. Boom, right there in the text, all broken down for them. And then say, okay, when can we schedule it? Great. Send me your address. So what happens is, say, like this Wednesday at 9 a.m., I have a job. So I go to my calendar. I wake up Wednesday, 5:30 a.m. whenever the kids get up at 6:30. My wife and I get up a little bit before so we have some time together. And so I'll just open my phone. I say, okay, I have a 9 a.m. All right, it's at this address. So I copy the address and I go to my text messages and I just paste my address into the search field, and boom, I have the entire conversation with that customer. I'm like, okay, that's the dent I'm fixing today. That's how much it is. Okay. And then kind of get my mental game plan going of, all right, I'm going to be taking this apart, doing this, kind of already undressing the dent in my head before I get there.
Is your quote unquote ballpark estimate typically the estimate you go off of?
Yeah. And I tell, like, I go off the customer's measurements, and I tell every customer, like, hey, I'm going off your measurements. If we get there, I put my light on it, and this dent, I'm going to measure the dent there in person. If it is smaller than what you say, then cool, we'll go cheaper. If it's larger, then we're going to have to go off the measurement I have.
Yeah. Do you say that in a text message, or you're talking to them when you're saying that?
Oh, I'll send it in a text message.
Okay. Is that something you send every customer? Just
pretty much, yeah.
Off of your measurements. If there's any change or any difference, there'll be an added cost.
Yeah, there's stuff I have saved, like in my notes section.
Yeah,
on my phone. Like I've got a lot of replies that I have saved, and I'll just copy and paste it, kind of templates. That way, it kind of expedites the process on my end, because I get anywhere from customers, like, I don't know, about 30 texts a day.
Yeah.
And then I get phone calls, another 30 phone calls a day. So I gotta create systems in order to get through the day, or I'm gonna be pulling my hair out.
Do you have any employees? How many employees do you have? What's your long-term goal?
Yeah. I got one guy working for me right now. Really good dude, solid guy, great head on his shoulders, has a wife and a kid, and he's a hard worker. And he's doing good. He's got a lot that he takes care of, and he does most of the wholesale work, and so he's working for me. But he's going to be going to school to become a lawyer. So whenever it comes to me training guys, usually I'm training guys because I see that they have a need. So I'll see a guy, and I've never had someone comes to ask me to be trained, I'll send them somewhere else that's more of a professional training facility, you know, like a Mike Toledo out there with Dent Time. But I typically will see a guy who's like, okay, this guy's a hard worker. I know him personally. He's a good dude. I see that what dent removal can offer him. Let me teach him. So I've done that for several guys now. None of them work for me. They've gone on to do bigger and better things. And the one guy I'm training now, he's going to be doing dent removal to help basically pay, you know, to support his family while he then goes to law school.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and he's going to kill it at being a lawyer. Like, he's going to be awesome. He'd be a way better lawyer than a dent guy. I'm not saying he's bad at dent removal. I'm just saying, like, he's built for that. And
potential. Yeah.
If dent removal can supply a financial need in his life, until that time comes, you know, but long term, man, I mean, I like to use dent removal to enable other guys to do the things that they need to do. For me personally, to grow my business, to make a lot of money, that's just not kind of my thing. I personally don't care to make cash money, dollar bills. I want to make enough to support my family, put some into savings in case it happens, and, you know, and do that. So that's just kind of the route I take.
So no future plans? Just
no, I mean, I have like a future plan that I would love to do. That isn't, but I mean, it's not in a sense to make money. I as you guys know, like, I have for me, I'm someone who you know, calls himself a Christian, but I take it seriously. It's not like one of those things like I was born in America, so I'm a Christian kind of thing. And so one thing that
Texas, so
yeah, and I'm in Texas, but I wasn't raised in a Christian home at all. So furthest from it. So I came into my faith on my own. But one thing that kind of is something I would love to do is essentially train men who are missionaries in foreign countries how to do dent removal, so that they no longer have to, that they can go and be in foreign countries as missionaries, doing dent removal to supplement their income as their missionaries over there, and not have to fully rely upon people giving all the time. And they also would have like a working visa and could go into other more countries
they can take throughout their life. And
yeah, absolutely. You know, we look at, you know, Paul, you know, the guy who wrote a lot of the New Testament. He built tents. He was a tent builder. So everywhere he went, you know, he would build tents for people as an income, you know, source while he went and, you know, preach the gospel kind of thing. So for me, like, that's something that's a dream of mine, is just to help guys that are going to be missionaries and just give them a secondary income kind of thing. But goal wise, you know, I have my weekly goals I set for myself financially, and I just want to provide for my family well, and do not be a jerk. You know.
So we have one question from Chef Bobby Z.
Oh, Chef Bobby Z.
And I guess he says, you don't have to answer it if you want to, because I know I don't really deal with anybody stealing. He basically says, how do you keep technicians from stealing your clientele?
How do I keep technicians from stealing my clientele?
Other PDR technicians.
I don't think you can, you know.
What makes Dent Gents unique? How about that?
Here's the deal: is when you call me, I'm gonna make sure it happens. It's about customer service. I fully believe that I can fix a dent better than anyone in my area. I'm not saying I can, but let's say I can. Like, figuratively speaking, I can fix it better than anyone else. There's dents that I can fix and no one else can, right? Even if I could do that, but I didn't have the customer service to back it up, then I'm garbage.
Correct.
So customer service, it's all about customer service. Am I there for the customer when they need it? And if I'm just being there. So like I have an account right now where, you know, everyone there seems to love me. And then I've been servicing them for about 4 years. And then all of a sudden this one manager decides that he just doesn't really like me. And he's like, well, I'm going to look for someone else. I'm like, okay, and cool. I'm just going to keep doing it. And he has no reason. He says, like, your work's impeccable. You're here when we call. We're always here. But for some reason, he just wants to find someone else all of a sudden. But all the other managers don't agree with him. They understand, you know, what value I bring. So I'm just going to keep showing up and keep doing my job right. I'm there when they call. That's the best thing I do. And if my job, I would not like it if someone took an account from me. But if someone took an account from me by fixing a dent I couldn't fix, they deserve it.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
If they can fix something I can't fix, then they are clearly the better technician and deserve to have the work that I don't have. But if people are trying to get work by bringing cheaper prices, that is not how you're supposed to do it. That's, to me, is pretty low. Yeah, we shouldn't be having to lower our prices in order to get work. Just make yourself a better technician and outperform the other technicians, give a better customer service, and you'll get work. Every single dealership I service right now, I did not go and get. They called me because of my reputation. I never went out looking to service Porsche, to service Lambo, to service Rolls-Royce or McLaren or Tesla or Mercedes-Benz. Those are all the accounts I service. And it was because they called me because of the reputation I have in the industry on my side of town. You know,
Nice.
That's awesome.
My goal is to, and there are some incredible techs on my side of town. There are guys that if they have an account, I'm not going there, you know? That's the thing, is if I know you do good work and you're a good quality tech that isn't doing a bunch of garbage business tactics, then I won't step anywhere near one of your accounts. Like I've had several account people call me, say, hey, I had this dent here. I'm like, hey, so-and-so services you, you know, have you called him first? Oh, he can't come. I'm just like, so I'll call him like, hey dude, this account's calling me, blah, blah. He's like, bro, okay, I'll handle it. Thanks for letting me know. You know, it's just like, and I've had guys do the same for me, you know, like where
that respect.
Some guy just all of a sudden was like, you know what we need here? We need a cheaper dent guy, even though we've never had an issue with his prices and he gives great service and does great work. We've never had a single complaint whatsoever. All of a sudden, I think we just need a cheaper dent guy, you know, and then like starts calling around other dent guys. And then like the dent guys then call me and they're like, hey, did you know that, you know, this place is calling around asking for dent guys? So I go to the manager. I go, Zach, what's the deal, bro? Like, why are you calling other? I mean, what's wrong? He's like, man, we're losing money on domestics and I can't afford you. I'm like, then come and talk to me and maybe we can arrange a better price for you for domestics, because my goal is to make you money. And if my repairs are losing money, that means I'm not doing my job right. Okay. So let's come out with something better for your domestics. You don't need to call another company, create a new relationship and get to learn their stuff for the next year. We already have a relationship. Just come talk to me. And, anyways,
that's just not the way of the industry, man. They just switch them. I know a company every 2 years, they just want a new vendors.
Yeah.
And
any of you have a hypothesis on why that is?
That's
a theory.
To me, I've been
dealt with it our entire careers. I'm just wondering, has anyone come to a conclusion yet?
There was I'll give you an example of what happened to me. I was at a dealership, it was a Mercedes-Benz dealership, and they hired this consultant to pretty much cut the fat on this dealership. And they came in and revamped everything. They had to spend over $100,000 just changing up stuff compared to what he does. And I think dealerships, they just lose so much money. They got money going out the back door, front door, and they just have to find a way to just cut it down. And when I talk to business owners that own $1 million companies, that's all they do every day. Where can they cut the fat? That's all they think about every day, because $1 saved is $1 earned. So that's what I think. I think it's just all businesses. My mentor says every year I call for a different insurance quote, because that's kind of a thorn in my tail. It's insurance. I spent so much money on insurance. He's known the guy for 10 years. He's got me the same insurance adjuster. So, you know, he's the cheapest I've found. And every year, he tells them straight up, every year I will go out and have people bid in for the insurance. You better be the cheapest.
Yeah.
So that's just it. That's just my theory.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that answer Chef Bobby Z's answer? Question? So
I hope so. Ryan, you may want to answer this one question. A gentleman's asking about logo and hats. I know you have a guy that's pretty good at.
I have a guy that's pretty cost effective to do whatever you need. You know, obviously, you're gonna have to figure out your logo. I don't know if straight lines, if you have a logo already done or not. You know, that's gonna really make it easier on the guy that makes the hats. So send me a message. I can kind of connect you to a guy that I use locally that does a pretty good job.
Can I go on a rant for
Sure.
on logos?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And some of you have heard this before. Stop using dent tools in your logos. Stop it. Stop. No one knows what they are.
Yep.
No one. If you notice, I got my Stay Dent free hat. It's the one without the hammer.
Yeah, custom made for him.
Okay, because it's like, hey, 99% of the population, all right, is going to be like, stay dent free, but why do you have a hammer? Are you putting dents in the car? It's like, no, it's a blending hammer. We use it like, oh, whatever. You know, 99% of the population doesn't know what a dent tool is. Like, what's that squiggly line with a red hook? You know, and I know a lot of guys have it, and I probably will hurt a lot of feelings. But if just for our logos are not for dent guys, our logos are for customers, and that's why I keep Dent Gents, superior dent repair. That's it. I keep it simple. You know, you can put a car in it. That's great because you're working on cars. That makes sense. But man, stop putting dent tools in your logos. No one knows what they are. Like everyone still thinks we fix. Like maybe if you put a plunger in your logo, you'll get more attention.
That would actually be a good logo.
Yeah, you know, put a plunger on there, and people will like probably call you 10 times more.
We have a question. Do you use the cola-free slide hammer, the cold glue?
Who, me?
Hudson. Yeah, Hudson.
I don't. I never used the Cola Fria. I used the sticky tab tape. Yeah. Which it has its place. I use it. I know there's a workaround for it. There's some guys that use some other things, but yeah, the Cola Fria, it's good. Here's what I use it for, to be quite honest. That random person who's in the parking lot that comes over like, oh, hey, you fix dents? You know, because they see your car. I'm like, yeah, like, hey, can you do anything with this? And it's like this big, huge caved in like bedside. I'll just pull out my like sticky tab tape and I'll put it on there and then like pull it out and like, there you go later. And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, just let people know I exist. Like, you know,
there's this magician that run around Texas.
He's such a gentleman.
Like I can't tell you how many free dents I fixed in random parking lots just because I just pulled out the cold glue. But it speeds up like the bigger stuff. Like I'll do this like as a sales tactic. I'll go up to a customer. You know, I'm at a customer and I'm evaluating the damage, and it'll have a big dent, right? And it's one of those ones. It's a popper, and I know that thing's gonna pop and it's gonna lose like 5 inches of its diameter, right? And for me, I know that, and so I'll go up to the customer. I go, okay, look, we're here to here. Like, you know, you're at 8 inches of damage. I go, but let me just do this really quick. And so I'll take the Cola Fria type, or I'll use the tab tape and I'll put it on there and I'll pull one pull. And then I go, okay, we're down to 4 inches now. Okay. I'm just going to charge you for the 4 inches and not for the 8 inches kind of thing. And what that does is build a rapport with your customer of like, okay, this guy's not trying to jit me. He totally could have charged me for the 8 inches, but he did this quick pull. And I'm okay with that. Maybe other people wouldn't be like, no, you deserve to get paid for the full. I don't disagree with you either. But for me and the way I sell my services, I'd rather come off as the good cop, good guy kind of thing of like, I'm looking out for you. And I am, you know, I understand that some people are just trying to get, you know, it's not a necessary service. It's a It's not a commodity.
Yeah.
Hudson, I have a quick question for you, and I think you were one that you actually brought this up. I saw it a couple of years ago for customers that have their car damaged and leave a note. Was that you? I stole that a couple of years ago, and it has absolutely worked. So
you talking about the Good Samaritan discount?
Yes.
Yeah.
You fix it for free, right?
Yeah. So it's something that, like me and my, I'm a Christian. So for me, for every 10 dents I get, there's let's say 20, 25 dents I get that someone dented someone's car in the parking lot. I'll maybe get one person that leaves a note. So if one person leaves a note and offers to pay, I don't let the customers know. I bid it and everything, and they say, okay, go ahead and fix it. I'll pay for it. And I then fix it, and then I let the customer know, like, hey, I'm not charging you anything. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I call it the Good Samaritan discount. I get enough work from people that don't leave notes. Like this one for free isn't going to hurt anything. Like, your debt has been forgiven. And they're like, what? Yeah. I'm like, and of course, for me as a Christian, I'm like, that's what Jesus did for you. So it's one way I can show that.
And you've gained 2 customers from that one repair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because she's calling that customer saying, the Dent Gents guy said he did it for free because you left a note. Boom. You've got that customer and you've got that customer. So it's a great thing. I can't take credit for it because I've been using it for a couple of years since you were talking about it.
Do what? I didn't hear you.
That they never heard of. I said you have 2 ambassadors for the company. They're going to be speaking so highly of your company. You're not going to need to do any advertising. You get 2
one lady wrote into the opinion column of our local newspaper about me because of it.
See?
This company, Dent Gents, this guy left. Like this poor single dad. Like, because most of the time it's someone's kid.
Yeah.
I make a joke every time. My friends are always like, hey, you're in the car industry, should I get an SUV or should I get a van? Like, which one's better? I'm like, oh, SUV all the way. Why? Why the SUV? I'm like, oh, those doors swing wide open, baby. They just swing right open. You don't care about the car next to it. So,
this is, do you fix your personal cars?
No.
Nah, dog. I don't get paid to fix my car. I have. Okay, if it is extremely noticeable, I will do it. I'll fix it. But door dings and stuff, I'm done with. And when I'm done with dents, but it's weird. Like if my friend comes over and I see a dent in his door, I'm like, oh, dude, we need to fix that. And I'll just get my tools out and start working on it and fix their dent free of charge. But all of a sudden, there's a dent in my own car, and I'm like, nah, screw it.
I can get it out anytime.
Yeah.
Or I'll tell you, I have a dent in my tailgate. I am terrified to fix because I'm sure the paint's going to crack. So it stays dented.
Hey, man, if you bring it down here to Texas, I'll fix it right for you.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. We'll just take a little cruise.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hudson, how can they follow you? What are your social media links and all that stuff?
Dent Gents. Facebook is Dent Gents. Instagram's Dent Gents. I have YouTube, which is Dent Gents. So
more R&I videos are coming.
Dent Gents.
Yeah, I should probably post more R&I videos.
I say the same thing, but I was just wondering.
Do what?
I say the same thing, that I need to post more, but your R&I videos are superb.
Hey, it's
simple to the point.
One way I can give back.
We're not labeling you. I mean, I'm not labeling you as the R&I king, but
he's definitely
I think if Sal Contreras would just spend a little time making some R&I videos, that dude takes apart so much. I'm just like, I could. And the thing is, here's the thing: is y'all call me the R&I king or whatever. People are like, oh, you take off. I'm like, I am a diva. I hate taking things apart. Yep. The only reason why I take gas caps apart is because I've learned how quick and simple they are. But as soon as you try to get me to take a door panel off, I'm like, what poor sap in here can I pay $20 to do this? And I will find someone at some body shop. But hey, dude, you want a 20? You want a 20 spot? Just take this door panel off for me all day. It's like 3 screws. It's all yours. Same thing with picking up my glue tabs. Every body shop I go to, I don't pick up my glue tabs. All the excess glue.
Yeah.
I throw them on the floor, and then I give the dude that cleans the body shop like $10. I'm like, there you go, dude.
That's awesome.
It's that guy.
Hey, for everyone's watching, if you guys can go ahead and give us a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it as we close up on this show.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be like your best, your highest rated show ever.
Of course,
obviously.
You know,
I mean,
guys.
MT, if you guys go on MT, you'll get to meet the magical Hudson and his
theater acts.
Yes, theater acts.
No.
You haven't seen anything, guys. So
gosh,
MTE.
Oh gosh, yeah, MTE. Everyone's rolling around and like, I mean, people are drinking a lot, and I drink. I enjoy good beer, but I'll have like one or two. And like I had one guy who's just like, "Why aren't she drunk?" I'm just like, because I want to remember things.
There are so many egos at MT. It is definitely the ego capital of America.
Oh
that day.
man,
So, but it's a really good time. I
love it.
Hudson and I, we would chat every now and then on Messenger, and then last year I met Hudson. So
he hasn't been the same since. His business has gone on the roof. He calls me at least once a week asking for advice.
Yeah, some acting classes.
Yeah, here's how you can properly sell something and look like you're genuinely interested in the customer. No.
No. All right, guys. Ryan, Dave. Close it up.
Dent Repair out of Baltimore. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, MySpace,
Windy
LinkedIn.
City Dent Repair out of Chicago. Dave. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Am I supposed to say something now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whatever you would like.
Yep.
Yes, I'm Hudson Tansey. I'm Dent Gents.
And I support this message.
I support this message.
All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week for another video, another live show.
See you guys.
Later.
Peace.